Hey guys, welcome back to Say Mojo Homestead. We hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and had lots of good family time and good food.
Yes, today we are going to be getting ready to decorate, get all our Christmas decorations out.
Yes.
And then decorate. So we're going to be bringing you guys along for that while we address several questions that we've had about solar. So we hope this video will help you guys out if you are interested in solar or have ever looked into solar or wanted to. There are lots of different options and things that you need to be aware of if you're gonna go that route. So, all right guys, so we got some onions from our friends. We did a bulk order. So we're just gonna put those in the ground and then we're gonna start getting Christmas decorations out. So yes, we said we were gonna talk about solar. Sorry it did not go up earlier in the week, but we just ended up having a pretty hectic week just with Thanksgiving and all of that going on. One of the main things that we get asked is, can solar get you completely off grid? And that's a kind of a complicated answer, but to do it in the simplest form and just to answer from our standpoint, no, it does not get us off grid. We are still tied into the grid, which means that we are still somewhat reliant upon the grid. What that means is if we lose power, like if the power goes out in our area, then we lose power here as well, even with solar panels, because it's all tied into the grid. So the main reason that we did solar wasn't necessarily to get completely off the grid and free from the grid, but to give us a little bit more independence. With power, it's one of the few things where the consumer has basically zero say. And we wanted to eliminate that. We wanted to have some say in that and give ourselves a little bit more authority. So the way that that works with solar is it locks us into a rate. We will only pay a certain amount every month, which is actually going to be cheaper than our normal power bill. And we will pay that for the life of the solar panels, which is 25 years. We are with Dominion Energy, and they have already put out a notice saying that their rates are going to be going up. So what solar panels do is it basically keeps us at the current rate now. The company we went with, what they do is figure up and somehow work it out to where your monthly payments on the solar panels are going to be the same or less than your power bill. In our case, we're getting almost 100% coverage. Most of the electricity that we generate is going to cover pretty much all of our needs, but that cost for that isn't going to go up while everyone else's does. So for us, gain a little bit more control over our finances and where those are going, rather than cutting us loose completely from the grid. So there are ways to do that, but it's not as easy as a lot of people think it is with solar.
One thing that we have had people ask us about is storing the energy, the excess energy that we acquire. With our particular company, you did have the option to purchase a battery and store up to 3 days worth of power. For us, it wasn't worth it to purchase that battery. It was very expensive. And so it wasn't financially worth it for only 3 days worth of power. If we had like a week's worth of power that we could store into it, that might be worth it. But 3 days just didn't seem like it was. Our purpose was not to go off grid. We have never really had an issue with having our power out for more than a couple hours. We've never even gone a day without power. So for us, because our particular goals and reasons for going solar, it just wasn't financially worth it for us. What I would prefer to put that money towards instead of a battery would be something like a generator. For us and our family, that makes more sense for us to put our money there than in a battery that only stores enough power for 3 days. If you are interested in looking into solar and you are interested in having that excess power stored and having access to it in an emergency or if you needed it, I would definitely talk to your solar company, find out the benefits, see if it's worth it, find out the cost of the battery, and see what other options might be good for you and your family.
Thing to look into when you're looking into solar is how the company is going to do the solar panels. There's two options that companies have. Normally you're not going to have the two options within a company. It's just how companies will do it. One way is the company owns the panels and you lease them. Normally it's still for like a 20-year period, 25-year period, whatever it may be. But the problem with that is you don't own it. And so legally what that does is they come in and you have a lien on your house. So if you were to ever have to sell your house or were going to want to sell your house before that time is up, then when they go to pull the legal documents to make sure everything is in order, it's going to show that there's a lien on the house. And that's really where a lot of solar gets a bad reputation because you can lose, and there have been multiple accounts where people lost out on a potential sale of their home because of that. Now, we did do the owning part of that, which is where we own the solar panels. So we're actually making payments towards buying them. Both ways, from what I understand, you do get the government credit. The way we're doing it is we're applying all of those tax benefits towards the solar panels, which is why our payments are going to be equal to, slightly less than, our monthly power bill. So personally, I would strongly recommend you go with the owning route rather than the leasing route, because you can get into a whole lot of issues with the leasing route. There is a guarantee, warranty, whatever you want to call it, on the solar panels for the life of the solar panels, which is considered 25 years because that's how long the loan is for. So that means if a tree happens to fall on it, if they get damaged from anything that's caused by nature, or if they just malfunction, the company will come replace them for free. The other thing I like about our company is that they guarantee whatever they told you, whatever percentage they told you it would cover of your power bill, or however many kilowatts they said they would produce. If it comes up short on that, they will come add to it at no cost to you. So just a lot of like little hidden things that you may want to look into when you are doing solar or looking into a company to use for solar.
So another benefit in doing solar, this wasn't something I expected, but it's definitely a benefit, is that the panels actually act like kind of like a screen protector for your roof. So we built our house 5 years ago. We have a 35-year life on those shingles, and they have this added protection now of having the solar panels up there. Now, just something to know, if you ever do need to get those panels removed, there is a cost per panel. To me, I wouldn't want someone that doesn't know what they're doing removing the panels anyway, but the rate that we would pay to have them removed, if we ever had to, is a lot cheaper than a lot of other companies there are out there. So that's just something to ask and kind of weigh out that cost as well. We knew that, like, I can't even think of something that would happen where we would need to have them removed that wouldn't be covered, like damage from the weather, or those things that Jeremy was talking about that they would have to be replaced. So our roof should not need to be replaced within those 25 years that we have the solar panels up there. And we were told that if something happens around the solar panels, like if there's hail damage that doesn't affect the panels but maybe affects the roof, kind of in that area, they can remove those shingles and fix obviously around the panels without having to remove the panel. So you guys probably have seen John in some of our other videos. What you don't know, though, is that he actually is the consultant that sold us our solar. So, John, if there was like one thing that you would want everyone to know about solar, what would that be?
There's a lot of things.
Okay.
But the top one I would say, and this is a paradigm shift for a lot of people, is that solar doesn't have to be something that's going to like take you off the grid and completely like change the entire like lifestyle of your house. Really, it comes down to like, which bill would you rather pay? Would you rather pay like a power company that is most probably a monopoly in your area, or would you rather pay a bill that's custom fit for your house? Because that's really all solar is. It comes down to like paying a cheaper, smarter bill.
Nice. That's why we chose solar, is because we had this fixed rate that we were going to be paying for the next 25 years.
Yep.
So for us, that was ultimately why we decided to go with solar. So John is actually with Lumio, the company you actually purchased the panels from, and that's kind of what set Lumio apart for us, because we know people that have rented the panels and we've said that's a terrible idea.
Yep.
So whatever company you look for, like that's the one thing. Make sure, right? Like make sure you're buying them.
For sure, yeah. Biggest thing that you're looking for when you're looking at a solar company is you want to be looking at like how many customers do they have, and like what are the customer reviews that they have, and also whether or not you're going to be leasing the panels or buying the panels or renting the panels, which like some companies do. Personally, I would suggest only ever like owning the panels, as in financing them. Because if you're leasing the panels are still going to be increasing in price like about 3% every single year. That's kind of like, so there's pros and cons to everything, but I would always recommend like financing the panels rather than leasing them. That's something that Lumio does, and I know other like solar companies do it. But definitely like whatever solar company you decide to go with, like do your research and make sure that they're a company that like other people have gotten from and are pleased with.
Good advice.
All right, so hopefully that answers some of your questions, or maybe all of your questions about solar and, you know, why we went solar, and just, again, a lot of the questions that we feel like we've been asked and that we had going into it, and just things that we didn't know going into it. How about highs and lows?
Highs and lows. So my high is that we got our tree and got it decorated. And Thanksgiving was awesome. We just had a really good week. So that was really fun. Just everything, getting to go away and all the things. My low, we have the same low.
Yes.
It was a sad, sad Saturday.
It was.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give props where props are due, because last year we had fun with this. If you guys have been watching us, you know that we're Clemson fans. And if you know anything about college football, this week was rivalry week. And we did not have a favorable result.
No, we did not play well.
No, we did not at all. But again, I'm going to give props where props are due. Carolina played really good.
A lot better than
And they
us.
deserved to win that game.
Yes.
As much as that pains me to say, you know, but it's been pretty much 9 years. So
they can have one every 9 years. That's okay.
yeah, you know, we'll let them have it. Whatever. Our highs were probably are the same. Was getting to go away for Thanksgiving, going up to kind of just our special place, the cabin, and doing that. We did get to spend actual Thanksgiving Day with my grandmother, who was not able to make the trip only because the weather was going to be really cold up there.
Yeah.
So we did Thanksgiving Day with her, and then did kind of our own Thanksgiving thing Friday.
Yeah.
So that was good. And
fun.
we cooked our first ham,
Yes.
which
Yes.
turned out to be amazing. Took a little bit longer to smoke than we anticipated,
Took
but
a long time.
it was worth it.
It was worth it.
It was so good.
So thanks for joining us. And if you have any questions or comments about solar, you want to know a little bit more, put it in the comments. We'll talk to John
definitely.
or whatever and get back to you. Also, if you haven't joined our YouTube family yet, we would love for you to join us by hitting that subscribe button. Liking the video would help us as well. And also sharing us on your social media. If you have friends that are interested in gardening or homesteading or anything that we do, we would love for you to share us with your friends so they can join us as well.
Yes, definitely. We would appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, hope you guys have a great week. Until next time, be blessed.